Local Spokane duo Tyler Lucas and Ben Little have made national news
with their psychic medium episode.
Their psychic medium episode in which they paid tribute to a dead man by naming an eagle after him.
After they viciously attacked his podcast show for over 6 months.
And they tried to defame his character.
We never did that.
The family is suing for $17 billion.
Yeah.
However, the lawsuit's liable to be dropped because they claim he was on the show the entire time. We'll find this out in court.
Come at us, bro.
Yeah.
Fight us.
I can see the court being like, you know it's an eagle, right?
No.
It's Phil, man.
It's like, Phil, yeah. The medium said he was here.
Update. These guys are idiots. Okay? They really thought that was Phil. They were facing a $17 million fine. Now they're being paid $14 million for pain and suffering for going through the lawsuit.
I think if we want that one podcast episode that just goes absolutely viral, that would be the one. Like, Ben and Tyler here, America's Diesel Podcast. We have a psychic medium in the house. She's going to tell us all sorts of stuff. First things first. What the fuck's up with NPR?
Yeah.
Can we reach that guy? Are you speaking to anybody who's passed away at this very point in time?
Don't they usually have to have something that they owned?
No. Should we just bring a Ouija board in or something?
Can you imagine, like, we call them, you have to have a belonging that belonged to him. Like,
done.
Okay, we got to, you call his widowed wife. Yeah.
Or his brother. I think his brother's still alive. Yeah.
Hey, Jay guy's brother. Do you have anything of your brother's that you could send to me?
Pencil.
Piece of clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his voice work?
Yeah.
I can get his voice and a video recording. Neither of which he actually touched, though.
Well, if they wanted something that belonged to him, we just bring an episode of NPR. Like this is his episode.
Psychic, I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
Found him.
Touch him. Yeah.
Touch him, that's him.
Yeah. It was modeled after him.
Like, wow, you guys are idiots.
Yeah.
Hey, psycho guy, just make the talk to him.
If we had a psychic medium come in and do a podcast episode, and we attempt to talk to dead diesel enthusiasts, I don't know what would happen first. The psychic medium just up and leaving, knowing that this is kind of a joke, or us just fucking becoming viral. Well, she'd have to be there. For some reason, I just see it as a she.
It's always a woman.
It's always a woman.
For some reason, maybe this is my psychic, Pamela. I see a Pamela.
I see a Pam. Yeah.
Pammed.
Pammed.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
If we could work that into the whole... Fuck.
Is this the episode right now?
I am... We can't put that in there.
Yeah.
Chris, this is your audio notes for this. Today is Thursday, February 3rd. Serial number on this is ADP 22004. Again, that is America's Diesel Podcast 22004. This is top 10 things or top 10 mistakes new diesel owners make. Again, that's top 10 mistakes new diesel owners make. Okay, Tyler, hear me out on this one. Okay. I don't know when this is coming out in relation to the podcast we just filmed.
I know we're still kind of on that high. From
a little bit, yeah.
We've
okay.
been still, yeah.
So if you're listening to this episode and you haven't listened to, I don't know when this one's going to come out, but the one where me and Tyler talk about having a medium on the show.
Yeah.
And if this is your first time listening, yes, we actually legitimately talked about having a medium on the show.
And also, we're completely serious about this.
Yeah.
We might be like laughing because, yes, in fact, it is funny, but we're dead serious.
I will sell my Tesla stock to fund this if I have to. And yes, the diesel podcast guy owns a piece of Tesla stock.
I stick with AMC and GameStop.
I don't worry. I'm also kind of an idiot too. I own 40 shares of Nokia.
Yeah,
Why?
because they're just
You-
killing it in the cell
you-
phone game.
Why? Computer chips.
Yeah.
You never know.
All right. Okay.
But I don't want to go too far into it because I don't want to. But for some reason, I feel like it'd be a woman, and I feel like her name's Pamela.
I feel like the majority of quote unquote real psychic mediums are like middle-aged women that make their own sweaters.
She might have a little bit of a gypsy vibe.
Yeah, a little gypsy vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has a lot of jewelry.
Lots of
jewelry.
accessories.
A lot of accessories.
Yeah.
Maybe a scarf,
Several.
but not like a scarf that'll keep you warm, like one of those like
Yeah.
ones when you put it up to the light you can see through it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Probably. I think too like a sash.
Ooh.
Probably a sash on there. Yeah. Okay. If you didn't know or were wondering, this is a Diesel podcast, even though we're talking about a psychic medium named Pam. Welcome a new character to our.
Well, you might. Okay, I think we need to give him just a little snippet more. So
Go.
the little backstory on that is obviously we want to be the #1 podcast in automotive, truck land. Okay.
Not even just truck, automotive.
Well, it'd be cool to be #1, but we are also competing with podcasts for gas engines, stuff like classic
Yeah.
car, which they have their. Me personally, I'd like to just be #1 diesel, but taking out when you're going for the top, you take out the top dog, right? When you want to be a badass in high school, you go and fight the biggest, baddest guy there, and then you just cemented yourself as #1.
Yeah. First thing
Right.
you do is you park your Camaro in the handicap spot. You one strap it on
Sideways,
the way in,
yeah,
and you punch the biggest guy you can find.
yeah.
Straight up.
So that's what we're doing. We're punching up. Okay, we're punching up to NPR just because they are #1. But that's the and you just need to listen to the last episode, the episode before this, and you'll get the whole story.
Well, it may not be the episode before this because I think we're going to try and push that one out faster.
What
But
episode number is it? Would it be if it is the
We don't
next
know
one?
yet.
We don't know. Listen to the one before this. Okay.
yeah, it's going to be possibly one or two.
One or
before
two
this one.
before. It'll all make sense.
The title is probably going to have something to do with
No, the title is
Edge Dinos.
Dinos.
Dino
What,
results suck.
Dinos suck or Dino numbers suck. What do we say?
So it's
You can just holler it out, Corey. Dino results suck.
Yeah.
Listen to that one first, then this one.
verbiage may be slightly changed, but that's the gist of the title.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Tyler from America's Diesel Podcast.
God, that was sloppy.
Yeah. Yeah. Tighten up.
Golly.
Tighten up.
Say it with your chest,
Say
man.
with your chest, man. Thanks for tuning in. Coming at you from Spokane, Washington. Make sure and check us out on all the normal podcast options there: Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. You can find us on there by searching America's Diesel Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube. YouTube is probably one of the best places to leave a comment, get in the discussion as we talk about things that happen in the episode, or just hang out with the boys.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a good place to chat. You can also find us on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok, meh. Instagram, I am an Instagram whore. I am on there all the time. I'm really trying to pump up our Instagram numbers. So if you could do us a favor and go give that a like or a follow, whatever they do on Instagram nowadays, you can find us on there by searching. This is a hard one. Remember this one. America's Diesel Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
Also referred to as the IG. America's Diesel Podcast. Difficult.
Where do you
I know.
live? America. What do you like? Diesel. What do you listen to? Podcasts. Put those together. That's us.
Shimmy Robert. If that's what you heard,
Come on, man.
yeah, come on. It should be America's Diesel Podcast, anyways.
Come on, man. Just listen to the Paul from casting line out in the.
Tyler, hit him with reviews.
Oh my gosh, reviews. I'm going to try to say this as quick as possible. Leave a 5-star review on any of the platforms that Ben mentioned earlier. Screenshot that and send it to podcast@dieselpowerproducts.com. Make sure you include a picture of your truck and an address so we can send a sticker too that looks just like that logo and logo on our cups. Keep them coming in. I love reading your guys' reviews. Like, it's seriously, it's like reading something that, like, I feel like every one of you guys is like my buddy.
Yeah.
Because, like, the way you guys make reviews and talk like it makes me happy.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys are posting reviews from other people's phones is epic. It's just epic.
Highly illegal. Don't do that, but keep doing it. Wink, wink, nod,
Yeah.
nod, touch
Yep.
the nose, touch the nose.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So,
Lastly, if you need diesel parts for your truck, make sure and check out dieselpowerproducts.com. They're the ones who kind of pay the bills around here. So if you need parts, buy them from us. Don't be a dick.
yeah.
If you,
You flustered?
I've gone like 15 episodes of just messing the intro up.
That's all right.
God. Yes, we do have phone sales techs on the phone at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time, but Monday through Friday. That's right. We're slave drivers, 12 hours a day. Keep them on the phones. Give them a call if you have questions. If you're online, make sure and put, and you're placing an order in the order notes section or the shipment notes section. I honestly can't remember which one's which. Write podcast.
That's it.
That
That's
way
it, that's
I
all.
can, I search it at the end of every week or so I can tally up all the orders from people that listen to this show. If you're placing your order on the phone with one of the sales techs, make sure and tell them you're a listener. You receive absolutely nothing.
The incentive structure is phenomenal.
That's how we keep it real, though.
Yeah. Right.
So if somebody
Yeah.
asks us, well, how do you incentivize your people to tell you to buy from you? We don't. In fact, we tell them straight up nothing. You get
Yeah.
nothing.
We give them tasks and we give them nothing.
Yeah.
Actually, when I say it like that, it sounds way worse.
Well, that's how we establish the good heart of the minimum. Are there more? Possibly. Are there less? Absolutely not. Because
Yeah.
they're going
here's
through the effort
what
to
they're
tell
getting.
us.
What they're getting is entertainment. Okay? They're
Entertainment
getting
and a-
entertainment,
And a product of knowledge.
product knowledge.
And possibly knowledge from the dead. Who knows? We'll find that out later in a later episode.
Oh,
This episode
God.
is off to a swimming start.
Yeah.
Let's get this going. So if you tune in and you're a brand new diesel truck owner, this is the first podcast of ours you listen to. I promise they are equally as bad, all of them, equally. Like, they're absolute shit, okay? You should listen to all of them. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We do have lots of episodes pertaining to lots of different things. Give them a shot. If you think that we need to cover something, throw it in the comment section. Either if we haven't covered it, we will. And if we have, there's a good chance we have, I can let you know what episode number to check out.
Yeah.
So the title of this episode, Top 10 Mistakes New Diesel Owners Make. I have a list I've written down. I haven't told Tyler any of these.
No.
Do you want to go in order? Like, do you want to save the number one mistake that you should make as last? Or you just want to crack into like, don't be an idiot right now?
Hey, this is the Ben bus, and I'm just kind of sitting in one of the seats, just kind of
Mhm.
looking around.
Okay, well, you got to give me one. Off the top of your head, what's probably one of the top 10 things that new diesel owners make? Oh, let me give you a little background here.
Okay.
This isn't, they've already bought the truck. We can't criticize how they shopped, what they looked for, anything like that. They have the truck. They either paid cash for it, making payments for it. It's in their possession. Like, it's their truck.
Gotcha. Not letting it warm up.
That's not a bad one. All right, that one. down. I didn't put that one on, but
Hit me with one that you thought of. We'll go back and forth. We'll do some back and forthsies.
I'm going to start with my number one.
Okay.
And theoretically, you should save the best one for like the finale.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're new to this podcast, you're probably not going to stick around that long.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and leave you with this little tidbit of knowledge. Okay. If you already bought this truck
Mm-hmm.
and you just now start searching for what are known issues with my truck,
I got one.
you are late.
Yeah. Yes. That is a good one. And I have another one that's a good one. Buying a truck. Are you talking just new trucks or just any truck?
First time diesel owner.
Any diesel.
Any diesel.
Shopping for trucks after you already bought one.
Oh, stop while you're ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the worst. I don't care how good of a deal that you got on said truck. You will find a better deal immediately after you made your purchase. That's how it always happens.
Yeah.
That's
You-
literally how it always
You'll
happens.
get buyer's remorse. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it. Stop looking.
Yeah.
Stop looking.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's my number two. And I tried to put these in order, and then I started.
What
putting them
was your number one?
The don't wait to start searching for like known issues after
Yes.
you've bought the truck.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yes, I'm talking about you 6'4" guys and some 6'0" guys.
Just
or-
because it's a good deal, okay, you always have to. Here's the thing. Let's say you're looking at trucks in your budget. I'm going to use fictitious numbers and fictitious prices. Okay. Okay. Let's say your budget is 20 grand. Okay. And you're looking at trucks and you see you have a specific year range in mind and a specific mileage in mind. And you possibly have a preference just because you got like a buddy or something that already has a truck and that's kind of what you got you interested, right? And you're looking at these trucks and the truck that you originally quote unquote wanted seems to be a little higher than your budget. But then you find a truck that's got less miles, that's a different diesel for way cheaper. But like kind of the same year, kind of the same, like some of the, like for a guy that doesn't know like the specifics about a truck, like could look at that and go, why is this truck the same year this much and this one is this much? They have about the same mileage. They have all the, very similar.
Two examples
basic
come
things.
immediately to my mind.
Yeah.
An 03 Power Stroke
Okay.
and an 07 Ram.
Okay. So kind of some similarities going. The first thing you should ask yourself and research, why is this one so much cheaper than this one?
You should almost always be thinking too good to be true.
Exactly. Do your research. There has been, I cannot listen. I've been not saying I've like done this for like 30 years, but I've done it for, I've been in the diesel performance parts sales industry for quite a while, I would say.
You're coming up on like almost half your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. If we put it that way. Yeah. Yeah. Now I forgot where I was going with that. Thanks for that, man.
Yeah. The old fogey.
Yeah. God, what was I trying to say? Oh my Lord.
Do your research.
Do your research.
If it's too good to be true.
Too good to be true. Okay. Oh, this is where I was going. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten this phone call and they literally, I don't know if you guys rehearse this, but it always starts with, I got this really good deal on a truck and I could almost bet money on what that truck is. Like 6.0 or 6.4, like almost Power Stroke, almost every time. That's what it is.
Now,
You got to ask yourself why. Why?
pop quiz.
Yeah.
If someone were to tell you, I just bought my diesel truck, or my first diesel truck, got a great deal on it. I'm looking at a lift pump. What truck does he have?
Well, I'm going to say probably a Cummins, just because lift pumps and Cummins have
Which
always
one?
been. Well, probably a VP truck.
Bingo. That's exactly where I
Yeah.
was going with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means he bought it and he started doing his first, and a lot of you think in Duramax too, but don't get me wrong, like those are important too, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
But when you're talking about like real quick, second gen Rams, their lift pump is like the most terrible lift pump that's like ever been created by man. It is like the worst. And when they go out, they'll knock out the injection pump right along. It's like they ain't going down without somebody else going down with them.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And that's the expensive part is the injection pump. So that's why.
Well,
that's why I said that.
and with the caveat of a VP44 being extremely sensitive
Oh
to
God.
cavitation pressure, or
Yeah.
cavitation and pressure and particulate.
Yeah, like you like blow a balloon inside the cab. The injection pump is like shivering.
Yeah.
It's air.
Very sensitive pump. Okay.
So,
My
anyways.
number 2, buying cheap parts.
Yeah.
There's an explanation that goes along with this. Okay. I get it. You may have just spent a whole bunch of money on your diesel pickup and you want to start modifying it, but everybody's telling you, oh dude, you need to get a Dominator kit, when you're just trying to level your truck, and everybody's like, so you got half the people telling you to buy a Dominator kit and the other half telling you to get a spacer.
Yeah.
One's $6,000, one's $150. You're
Right.
like, why?
Well, yeah, the outsider looking in is like, okay, what's my goal? Lift the truck. What we've got $5,000 or we've got $150 over here. Why not go to $150? I get the look that I want.
Mhm.
Why not? Makes sense.
Yeah. Until
not-
you talk to someone here and they set you straight. But and what I mean by that, I'm going to get into this right now. There are some things that I would like.
And I hate using spacer leveling kits as an example because it has a space.
Mhm.
It's especially if you're just doing like a 2 or 2.5 inch, like that's I think that's still fine if you're just trying to level the truck. I don't think there's
The only part there is like it's when they, and this is what I mean by like doing your research and talking.
yeah.
If someone were to call in here and be like, I need to level my truck because I want to do a little bit larger wheel and tire on there. I don't have the money to do a full lift kit. You know, I'm pretty much thinking about doing just spacers. What we would tell you here is, okay, you're not going to get any better ride with spacers. Okay. Are you fine with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, cool. Here's the thing though. If you're saving money on by doing spacers, please, for the love of God, do a track bar.
Mhm.
Like you could probably get away using the shocks you have now and upgrade those later. You could probably get away upgrading your sway bar rain links later and other kind of stuff. But please do a track bar.
Yeah.
Like if you're on the fence, like, do I do a spring or a spacer? Because I only have $550. It's like spacer track bar 10 times out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. Because at least you're fixing the geometry of the front end. That track bar doesn't. There's no adjustment from factory. So you lift it up, it's swinging, it's pushing it over to the passenger side. When you lift it, driver's side.
Pulls it to the driver's side.
It's frame side, driver's side, axle side. If you lift it up, wouldn't it push it towards the driver's side?
No. Yeah, you said passenger side though.
Did I?
Oh, to correct it, it pushes it
Yeah.
back towards the passenger side.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry. I thought you were mentioning the axle's going to swing and be too far towards the
Can't believe
passenger.
this guy.
I know. I like leaf
I
springs.
just got done talking about how long I've been in this.
Idiot.
No, I agree. Absolutely. Cheap parts. There's some things you can't go cheap on.
I have a
it's
couple
fine.
examples.
Perfect.
So here's some examples.
knew you would.
Yeah. As far as like, and I hate using the word cheap, but there are low cost alternatives to
Low
going.
cost. That's a good
Yeah,
alternative.
to going like baller, right?
Right.
Like, do you need to do King 2.5 shocks with reservoirs?
No, Bilsteins or Fox 2.0s.
Yeah. Or if you are, like you said before, you're the guy leveling your truck, run the shocks you have now until you have enough time to, or enough, funds to put like some Bilstein 5100s on there.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you need to go Fox 2.0s, with reservoir and DSCs? No, you don't. Most people don't. Is there a difference between running good shocks? Yeah. That's the problem. You run good shocks and you never run shit shocks again. But one of the things is like exhaust. I got nothing against people buying high quality exhaust. It fits great. We never have calls back on there.
Yep.
But if you're sitting there and you're like, do I get the exhaust that's $304 and $900, or do I get something that's aluminized and is $389? Like, save the money, get the lower cost one.
Absolutely.
Other one is floor mats. Like, I'm as much as I love WeatherTechs, they're all like molded and everything like that. If you need to get floor mats and it's between having floor mats or not getting floor mats, go to Costco, get the generic floor mats.
Yeah.
Like, just if that'll hold you off for the time being, get the floor mats. Protect your floor.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tuning. We do say tuning that you shouldn't cheap out on it. Here's the thing though, and this kind of goes along with one of the other parts on here about making a plan. If you're not planning to do a different turbo, different injectors on your truck, would you benefit from custom tuning? Yes. Do you need to have custom tuning? No.
Yeah.
That's the difference between getting do you need to get a custom tuner with a monitor and all this other kind of stuff and spend $1,500, whereas you could get like a Bully Dog GT or an Edge Evolution for either between $400, $500, $600 and be good. There you go.
Yeah. When I hear cheap tuning, the first thing that comes to mind is shops that are doing EFI tunes. Like, I don't know if they're doing it themselves or just getting it from someone. Like, I don't consider Edge, Super Chips. I mean, they are cheaper, but they're a reputable company that because they have cheaper tuners. They have handheld devices that are simple, perfect for that guy.
Yeah.
But if you're saying you've got a buddy that knows a guy that has a shop that gets this EFI tuning for half the price as all these other guys, that's a red flag.
Yes.
That is a major red flag. Like that, don't get that. If you're going to go, quote unquote, I'm saying the lower cost, cheaper tuners, look at something that is reputable. Look at something that is an off-the-shelf type tuner, like an Edge, like a Smarty, like a Super Chips, like a Bully Dog. Those, the reason why they can have those at such a lower cost is because they are mass produced. They're doing. I don't want to sound like this is bad. This is because it's not bad. They have figured it out with these trucks where this generic tune works on all trucks, and they're designed with a stock truck. This works. That's how they can make it cheaper. But going through Joe Blow's buddy who's got a shop that knows a guy, not a good idea. No. Not a good idea at all. And that should make you question the tuning when you look at, well, I'm looking at dieselpowerproducts.com, and they've got this tuner. It's an EFI Live tuner, the same thing that this guy has, but it's $900.
Mm-hmm.
He's offering it for $400.
Why?
There, you got to ask those questions because there's a major difference, not only in the tuning itself, but in the support after you put that tuner in. Mm-hmm. Not saying EFI Live has a bunch of issues, but if someone doesn't know what they're doing, you could run into issues with your truck that if you took it to a shop to work on it, like a shop that works on trucks, they might look at that and go, I have no idea what's going on. Like, I can't find anything wrong. Everything's checking good. Mm-hmm. Well, it's because it's your half-ass shit tuning that you got from freaking Joe Blow's buddy over at the shop down the road.
Possibly not even a shop.
Possibly not even a shop. He's probably doing it in his mom's basement. Just, it's just that.
What was the address of the shop? Well, it was the parking lot of an apartment complex.
Yeah. So I picked it up.
Did you get
on
your
a side
tattoo done
street.
there too?
Yeah.
Like, was there a meth deal going on behind you?
Yeah. So that's one that you always have to think about.
On the flip side of that, certain examples of things that you want to do right the first time. Like, it's not even worth trying to go low cost option. Track bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we already mentioned that, but track bar. Ball joints.
Yeah, I would say any steering, suspension,
Mm-hmm.
geometry parts for that front end of that or the rear end of the truck.
Yeah, the three examples I gave were track bar, ball joints, and steering box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's those that when people call in and talk about those, it's those where it's like, I've gone through 6 of these generic ass track bars.
Yep.
I've gone through 5 of these over the counter steering gear boxes. I'm tired of it. I'm ready for the fix.
Yeah.
It's like, I have your fix. Here it is.
And they're buy ones, cry ones.
Yeah, and they're like, gosh, it's like 3 times more expensive than the ones I was buying, but you know what? I am gonna happily pay this because I'm gonna be done with it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a buy once, cry once type deal. Do you have another one? Or should I keep going?
Really. Just keep going.
Okay, I have one that's number 3, putting a dumbass tip on it. Mark,
shots fired. He did change his tip.
he did.
He did. It looks a hell of a lot better.
And I'm gonna put this out there. Respect the ratio. There is a ratio of tip to exhaust. Okay.
Yes.
It's never more than 2 inches larger than the exhaust pipe you're attaching to. If you have a 4-inch exhaust pipe, that means you can do a 6-inch tip. If you have a 5-inch exhaust, you can do a 7-inch tip.
Here's the thing: the bigger the tip, the longer it should be. Okay,
Ladies,
I think that's physics at this point.
It's pretty much science at this point. I shouldn't have to
longer
say
should
it.
be.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be, but there are short little tips out there that are super.
If you liken your tip to a dip can,
yeah.
If someone has said your dip is chody,
yeah,
ain't a good tip, man.
Ain't a good tip. That is an awesome rule to live by.
Respect the ratio.
Respect the ratio. Yes, yes. I can't. I tell you what. Like, I'm going to use Mark's truck as an example because he had that god awful, whatever size that was. It took. It's like that. I don't know. I don't want to get that far. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. But it's like it just takes the focus away from everything else in the truck. That's all you see.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's
like you
all
could have
see.
a Carly Dominator system on the truck. That's all everything is well done. I see that tip. I'm like, God, what an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes the attention away from everything else.
Everything else
now
is
that
so
he went
good.
to a smaller tip, now I notice the truck. I'm like, okay, 37s, bronze methods. He's got a bank stiff cover on there. Great suspension. He's got a roll pan, black tip. That's an axle dump. That's cool. Like that.
Have you actually like looked at his taillights?
No.
I'm not a huge fan of like fancy aftermarket lights, but I'll be honest. his taillights are
He
cool.
did have one that he brought in and showed me, but I didn't look close at him. But
And I never thought I'd actually like this, but it's one of those details that you can't see until you get up close to it. Under normal driving, you have no idea it's there.
yeah,
But if you were, say, like stopped next to him at a stoplight behind him or something like that, the taillights, when the LED that goes around it in the rectangle,
yeah.
it's one of those like infinity mirror type things. So if you look down the middle of it, you see like the ridge.
Oh, okay.
It looks
Yeah.
like it like goes.
Yeah, I've never
forever.
seen him on. I just he had one out and brought in to my office.
Like
yeah.
I saw that and I was like, man, that's if I saw that listing on a website, I'd be like, that's stupid. I'm never buying that. I saw it in his truck. I was like, that's kind of tight.
Yeah.
That's cool.
His truck looks good now. Is it?
This truck's hot.
Yeah,
This
it
truck's
is.
hot. You get rid of that stupid ass tip. The truck's hot.
Yeah,
It's
that's simple.
It's got my hat off
Yeah.
on that one. Number 4, and we've kind of touched on this already, so we're going to kind of go through a little bit faster. But not doing research, and what I mean by that is like basically just straight to power parts. Like you bought this diesel truck because you tow with it. And then you did about 30 seconds of online research because you want to make power. You took the stock turbo off. You put a tuner on and put a single S475 on it for this cool tow rig.
Little do you know, you have a Duramax that
Yeah.
is not happy over.
Little do you know, you literally just turned that truck that was stock and probably would have towed whatever you need to do probably fairly well into the biggest, smokiest hot rod of a diesel truck.
Kind of a ticking time bomb, basically.
And now you're going backwards, trying to
Yeah.
like recount your footsteps, and then we kind of mentioned it, but then you call someone like us, and we're like, "What do you have on there?" And you're doing what with the truck?
Yeah.
Who told you? Sorry, sir. Like at risk of sounding like a jerk here, who told you to do that?
Yeah.
Your friend did.
Hmm.
How often is your friend's truck operational?
Yeah.
What does he do with his truck?
Right.
Oh, it's his party truck. He's got a separate tow rig.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm not trying to call you an idiot here, but is his tow rig stock? Yeah.
There's nothing worse than telling someone
They fucked up.
they messed up and like they've got power parts that are mismatched
Yeah.
that they now have to rebuy.
That is a very long conversation, and I feel bad when it happens sometimes because then they're like, I got a 470. Great. You've got a turbo that is great for compounds.
Yeah.
That's the bigger side of the compound turbo. Okay, well, I'll just do that. What's a compound kit run with that? About $3,800. Cool. What else do I have to do? Well, you're going to want to do head studs and probably valve springs and push rods. And if you want that to actually, really run well, you're going to want to do probably a set of injectors, a lift pump, an injection pump. Oh, what was that? The truck has 380,000 miles on it?
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, whatever transmission's in there now, manual, you're going to need work on there. When was the last time the diffs were serviced or the drive shaft or like that? Okay, you're probably going to go with a one-piece drive shaft. And you just hear him like,
It's called a slippery slope.
yeah, but I just want to tow with my truck. Okay, here's what you're going to want to do. I got a stock manifold and a stock turbo
Yeah.
and a stock intake. It's going to run you $1,700.
Yeah. Or not even stock, just like a step over stock instead of this
Yeah.
crazy whatever you did.
I got you a stock manifold with a BD Screamer or a Fleece Cheetah or a Stealth,
Yep.
Stealth 64 in there, an S&B intake, and edge tuning,
Yeah.
and a lift pump. Have fun. That
Yeah.
truck's gonna tow. It's gonna walk everywhere you want to go.
Yeah.
Really? It sounds like it's not gonna make enough power.
Yeah.
Well, how's your truck now?
Yeah.
How's it working?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's 100% correct.
I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but this is literally my job.
Yeah.
I feel like a total asshole right now.
Sometimes you gotta hit him with the hard stuff. I mean, it.
Hit him with the facts.
Dude, I was helping out on the phones the other day, and this guy had called, and he had a 12 valve. I can't remember what size injectors he had, but it was bigger than 50s.
Mhm.
He bought a ATS Aurora 3000, which for most trucks, like he was running a stock turbo, and he's like, I need more air, So he got a 3000, which is basically their first step over stock.
Yeah.
He didn't like the way it ran. He felt like he could have went to the 4000. And he's like, hey, I ran this turbo for about 24 hours. Can I exchange it for a 4000? I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but I don't care if you ran it for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. an hour.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. Like, we can't take back a used turbo, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, why didn't you go with it? Like, that's the hard, like, because you don't want to say, like, well, why didn't you just go with the 4,000 to begin with? Like, what? Why'd you even go with the 3,000?
Yeah. What's going on?
So it's like, I kind of felt bad for him, but at the same time, it's like, dude, what do you expect? You're running a turbo on your truck. There's soot and exhaust gas and heat and oil, your oil, which who knows what your oil is like, like, running through that turbo.
It's like, yeah, you can exchange this turbo for the cost of a 4,000.
Yeah, we'll just take it back, throw it on the shelf, sell
Yeah.
it, send it to
guy.
the next guy.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
As
it's like,
that guy gets a turbo with covered in soot and has used oil in it and
makes you want to be like,
scratches.
now that you mention it, I actually have a used 4,000 on the shelf I can sell you at retail.
That's a good.
Do you want that one?
Yeah.
No? Oh, well,
have
shit,
you ever said
sorry.
that to someone? That's a
I've
good.
gotten very close to it.
I should have said that. It'd be like me selling you a 4,000 that was taken off of a truck. Would you pay full price for it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are funny because they're like, well, yeah, I would. Like, no, you wouldn't.
You'd get that in the mail and you'd be like, what's this used turbo I just got?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, anyways.
us truck guys.
Yeah. Number 5. Big ass rims, no supporting mods.
Yeah. No gears. No.
Yeah. I'm not even talking like tires. I'm just big ass
oh my
rims.
God, dude. The other day I was driving home and I saw this, a Camaro. It was green. Like,
Was it donked?
dude, the rear wheels and tires on this thing, I have to give it to them because they were at least 14 wide. Like, they were,
Did you say it was green?
I'm pretty sure it was green.
Are you sure it was a Camaro?
Yes, I'm sure it was a Camaro. 100% sure it was a Camaro.
It was like a G body
Big
or was it a
old
classic F
new
body?
one, new one.
Okay. I haven't seen that one.
Dude, the freaking wheels on this thing, the rear wheels on this thing were like, I was in a turn lane, he was going straight, and he was probably a car length ahead of me. I could not see the center of the wheel. All I saw was dish. And I was like, damn. And then I looked at the ass of it and I was like, oh, he's got big. He's okay. All right.
I see
All
you.
right, I see. That kind of car, fine. I still, to this day, cannot understand the people that stretch their tires like it's like a fat guy in a little coat putting these tires on these wheels. I don't get it. Some of you out there probably have them. Explain it to me. I don't understand it because it's just, I'm looking at the tire and the tire's just like, ah!
Yeah.
Like like the guy that mounted those probably shot himself after. Because it probably took him all day.
I don't think he shot himself. I think he did a little Harry Curry.
He probably took
was like, shit, yeah.
He probably took a freaking giant bump of coke. And he probably got him done like quick, but the engineering that he had, like, there's probably one of those bead blasters, like I call them cheetahs.
Yeah.
He probably used like 3 of them, like to get those things up. I don't understand it. Like I honestly, I've never seen anybody mount tires on wheels like that. I'd like to just see.
It's stupid.
I'm sure.
So I just because we like going on rabbit holes and painting pictures for people. The guy that mounts these stretched tires on wide wheels, I akin him to, and I don't mean to ruffle any feathers here, but you just got to follow me on this one.
Ruffle 'em.
Okay? Like a mercenary mobster or a mobster mercenary guy where it's like he was born into it or something like that and he has to do it. He didn't have a choice, but he ended up being really good at it, but he hates the fact that he does it.
Yeah.
So, he comes home, smoking a cigarette. You wouldn't believe the tires I've stretched. All these.
Like, I feel like there would be like, I could show up to a tire shop, like one of those tire shops. Be like, listen, I've got this 20-inch wheel, but I've got these tires for a 17. Can you make them work?
Yeah.
And they're like, absolutely.
We've got a guy.
We can stretch the shit out of those.
We've got a guy that will do it, but you can
Never talk about it.
you can only pay him in quail eggs.
Or something.
You can't talk about it.
I can't talk about it. I just don't get it. I get that it. The part that I get is they're looking for that big wheel look, right? but at the expense of like stretching your tires to the point where like it just doesn't look right to me. Like where your tread pattern is like if you were to drive in snow, you'll see like the tread, but you'll also see a flat push down part in the snow of sidewall because you're literally like the edges of your tire, you're riding on sidewall.
Yeah.
I have to hand it to tire makers though, because my God, what are they freaking 38 ply now with those tires? Like,
I still have this picture in my head of this guy, the guy who stretches the tires.
yeah,
And I can't remember what movie this is from, but he only wanted to do it to get his family out of their apartment or something like that, but then he got sucked in and couldn't leave.
yeah.
And now they're going to kill his kids if he leaves or
This is
something
like a
that.
whole movie
So he
plot.
has to like finish the contract and all sort of kind of stuff. A little bit of a Looper-esque, if you don't know if you saw Looper.
Yeah.
But I see him like his kids are, now they're car people and they own their own shops. But someone comes in and asks them about stretching tires, and then they ask their dad, and the dad's like,
We don't do that here.
I've stretched so many tires for these insignificant people.
Yeah, seriously.
Not worth it.
Not worth it.
My children will not go down this road, and just starts like slapping his kids around, and his wife comes in and he's all heated, and the kids are crying, and well, I guess their kids are grown up because they have their own shop now, but and now the grandkids are crying, and the mom comes in and she's like, "What happened?" And I just asked Dad about stretching tires. You need to go home, and she walks. I imagine his name's Dominic.
Yeah.
Dominic, go to the basement. Go to your space.
As she packs his bags.
She packs his bag.
Just go. You have to leave. You have to leave in the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Your father's hidden this secret for 25 years.
Yeah. It's not safe for you here.
He was the only tire stretcher in the Northeast.
Yeah.
And he was the best. And it was hard on him.
Yeah. He just brought up memories.
You don't want to go inside there.
Yeah. You have to leave.
You have to leave now. You don't ever mention And okay, this is the last piece of it. I imagine him down in the basement in his space, and I totally forgot this. The accountant, when Ben Affleck's like beats the crap out of his shin with a stick, he's down there just like punishing him, whipping himself on the back of his knees. So when he picks his stretched tires, like, I'm sorry.
But then he comes back, the top tire stretcher, like in the world.
Well, because his kids get in trouble, so he has to make a resurgence.
Right, but he leaves.
Yeah,
and then he's like, I have this ability as well.
Yeah, and basically,
tires.
And now it's a Gone in 60 Seconds thing. Yeah. Now he's got to come back to save the day.
Back. Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it, but he has to.
Wow. Guys, we literally started that entire tangent off of me complaining about guys that put 24-inch tires on their 23-inch wheels.
I'm not saying we have the best ideas ever, but that's a movie.
That's a
movie.
That's
a whole movie.
That is a movie.
That's a good
That's
American
a movie that everybody
movie.
can get into.
I think that's a Daily Wire production. Just saying.
Or an ADP production.
Yeah. Let's get down this list.
Right.
Once again, if this is your first time listening to this show,
sorry.
This is somewhat normal. Next, number 6, keeping up with maintenance.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like for some reason people think diesel trucks take no maintenance because they're always working. It's a work truck. You can let it slide. No, you can't.
No. Maintenance with diesels is imperative. Fuel filters, oil changes. Got to do it. Make sure you're on point on that. If you're going to do anything, make sure you're covered on that.
Yeah. Or they say, well, they last forever. It's like, well, they last forever because from the people that are anal on maintenance.
That are taking care of it.
Yes.
So,
and I will say the caveat to that, there are some diesel trucks that are more sensitive to maintenance than others. Sure. The two I'm going to poke at are 6.0 and 6.4s.
Yep.
And then right below that, I would say, are the 7.3s.
Yep.
And most of that's just do oil changes. Oil changes and coolant.
We're not saying in the other trucks you can neglect. It's just those ones are just high priority.
Yeah, high priority. Number 7, thinking your truck makes more power than it actually does.
Yeah. Not only are you going to, you're just going to embarrass yourself. Yeah. You're going to embarrass yourself.
And don't get me wrong. We've all had a stock diesel truck. We all had our first diesel truck, and we all put a tuner on our first diesel truck. And the first rip you take out of that first time you take a rip, or the first tuned diesel truck that's yours that you take a rip in, I would probably swear to you this thing makes 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
There's no way this, and then you're like, well, it doesn't make 1,000. Yeah, but it's got to be at least 550. And again, we're talking about like an OBS
Right.
with a tuner. And that's it,
It's
right?
like 200 horsepower.
It's making like 215 to the wheels.
Yeah.
So just so you know, your dynos break hearts,
They do.
and so do I. You're not making that much power. Okay, it's just straight up.
Snap.
Sorry.
Sorry.
There's only one asterisk to that. People tuning 6.4s, yes, you are making that much power. Go buy a lottery ticket and make sure you have a second truck lined up.
I wouldn't even say buy a lottery ticket. You're probably not that. I could guarantee you're not that lucky that's going to last that long. So,
This one I think is probably, this goes along with maintenance, but not giving the truck a solid once over before you start buying fun parts.
yeah.
You know, and what I mean by that is, you know, don't buy this truck and assume everything's fine. Even if the guy tells you it is, that's good peace of mind. But don't go through assuming everything is fine and go spend $3,000 on fun parts and, you know, blow your credit card out of the water and then realize that, you know,
You have an issue underlying that needs
yes,
to be addressed.
you like your rear axle needs like bearings and brakes and new gears.
yeah.
It's like it costs way less, and it's especially if you're going to be keeping the truck for a long time or you're going to be working it costs way less for you to just start checking things off a list.
Yep.
Going through, even if he tells you, oh, I just serviced the rear end, I don't care.
Right.
I don't know what fluid you used. I don't even know if you're telling me the right thing with the fluid. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I might even check gear pattern, you know, and go through and just really take that first, you know, weekend, for sure the first weekend, if not the next month, 2 months. Don't buy any power parts for it, you know, just
Do your maintenance and
your
go through
maintenance.
the truck with a fine tooth comb. Make sure everything is working properly. Then add power.
yeah, start
with a
listening
good
to
base.
it. Yeah, just making sure that you have, because that's the worst when that stuff creeps up. And it's not so much that you weren't planning for it, it's that you already spent the money that was your safety to plan for the stuff that might be
Yeah.
broken.
The biggest I think thing that like a customer will say to tell if their truck is working properly is when they call and say my mileage is low.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and they're looking at like adding a tuner or something. Take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out why your mileage is low, especially if it actually is lower than like a comparable truck. Something's going on.
Yeah, someone calls in, I got a 5.9 common rail and unloaded on the highway. I'm getting 12 miles a gallon. I'm like, you have something wrong.
Yeah, mileage. I think mileage is probably one of the first things that one will notice, but not notice anything with the truck that's wrong
Mhm.
just by driving it. I
Th-
think
that-
everything's driving fine,
Yeah.
but my mileage is down. Why?
That 12 mile a gallon 5.9 common rail I just mentioned probably still pulls the trailer great, still drives around, starts up every morning. It's totally
Yeah.
fine.
You got 3 out of the 6 injectors that are probably returning a little too much fuel,
Mhm.
and that's affecting the atomization of the fuel going through the injectors, which in turn affects mileage.
Mhm.
Mileage is going to be your. I don't know if I'd say it's your number one, but it's a very good tell that something is not right.
It's a good one. Something is not right.
Yeah,
I like that. Okay, we're at number 9.
Niner.
This one goes out to all my DPFdelete.com, racestruck.com,
Okay.
BigDaddyDiesel.com, SunrisePerformance.com, and they all look the same and have the same font. You know what I'm talking about. Immediately buying a truck and deleting it with shitty tuning and throwing away your emissions equipment.
Yeah.
That is probably
I would even back that up even further. Buying a truck that is quote unquote deleted that doesn't have a tuner with it.
Mhm.
If you don't have a handheld, you don't have a device.
I
with
would
it,
even go further than that. That doesn't have the emissions equipment with it.
Yes, but to me, if it was quality tuning that I know works
Mhm.
and it's gone, I'd be way more comfortable than that versus me buying a truck that has it all gone but no device.
Okay,
I mean, that's just me.
I can meet you there.
Okay.
Number 10.
10.
This one's a little bit,
Okay.
we'll just say number 10, a lot of us are guilty of it. But probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Number 10. This is literally all I wrote.
Okay.
Straight to burnouts.
Yeah. Listen, I love burnouts. All right. They're probably one of the
love
funnest things, the funnest, slowest thing you can do.
Tell you what, bacon, burnouts, beer, and boobies.
Yeah. I was going to say, where's the boobies at?
It's a good night.
That's a good night. That is a bonfire. As well.
Bonfire.
I mean, yeah.
That's a shirt. Trademark.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, burnouts are fun. I love doing burnouts. Love it. What usually happens is you got your buddies egging you on.
Guilty.
You might have a good set of tires on your truck that you like. You go and do your burnout. And then when you're done, you go look at your tires and you're like, oh, shit. I just literally burned like 50,000 miles off that tire.
Yeah.
Like, that is very disappointing. It's a very short high
Yeah.
and a very long depression.
Yes.
So,
And
or even with transmission and other stuff. I mean,
especially if you haven't given your trucker once over and you were low on rear diff fluid.
yeah.
And now that low tire situation has just also snowballed into
A rear end,
a rear end.
and then a transmission, and possibly an engine.
Yeah. So a little bit of effort and patience. And patience. Okay,
Yeah.
it's hard. You have to learn it. You know, I'm not a very
Revert to
patient
Rule 8.
guy. Give it a freaking once over, guys.
Yeah.
You would be amazed how much you may actually find wrong, or that's not up to your liking, and or just peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than getting into a burnout. Because keep in mind, this burnout may only last 3 to 15 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 30.
But you
Who
might
knows?
come out of it with 3 new neutrals.
Yeah. But that even if it's like a 10-second burnout, we can all agree that 10-second burnout feels like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You've got all kinds of emotions going on right now. Your friends are egging you on. You probably had 3 or 4 times like, that's enough, but you see your buddy with his phone just like, yeah!
And
You're
you
like,
keep
cool.
going.
And you keep going. You're like, I'm only at 2,000 RPM. The red line on this tack doesn't start till 38.
Let's send it.
Catch up, my boy.
Yeah. 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 Burnouts. I love them. I enjoy them. But especially used trucks. I mean, you guys just be aware.
Yeah. Like I will say this, even though my blue truck is definitely not a new to me anymore. I know everything wrong with it, everything right with it. We were talking about tires today. When that time comes, I'm burning the shit out of the tires.
Burn them off.
Those are
Burn them right off.
And I am someone that's like, if my tires, I will say that someone will always hold value in tires that hold air
Yeah.
and
for some reason.
and that have some sort of tread on them.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean like you might be able to sell a set of 4 tires that hold air with barely any tread for like $80.
Right.
You might post them for 150. Someone says, I'll give you 100. There you go.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. $100 is tight. $100 is better than you had before. $100 offsets the cost of new tires. However, I love doing burnouts. And honestly,
It's a
3 out of the 4 tires on that truck don't really hold air. I mean, they do enough, but
Send
like,
it.
yeah, these are getting sent.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like, once the backs are done, I'm rotating them, putting
Do
the
it-
fronts
do
on the
it
backs,
again.
and the backs are getting from the front.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Fact.
Fact. That was number 10. Do you you want to hit me, Corey? You got one?
He's got nothing.
Tyler, you got a bonus
I got
one?
Nothing. I gotta use the bathroom. I know. I broke the seal.
You
all
broke
right?
the seal. You done diddly did it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to about wrap this episode up. Again, I know this was a very trendy style title, so we may have caught some new listeners here.
Hey.
If you're a new listener and you've made it this far, kudos, man. Appreciate it. If you like the way this sounds, make sure you subscribe because we put out new podcasts every Thursday. Some are good. Some are great. I'll tell you that right now. But we always bring the fire. We always have barley juice, and we're always doing it for the boys.
Yeah. So,
So,
cheers, boys.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. We thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. came on me so quick.
Oh yeah,
so
dude.
quick. It was like ah.
What are you thinking? You want to try one more, or you?
No, we're good. Yeah. Shift over.
Do you want to try and play with Reaper a bit tomorrow? Or are you pretty?
Yeah, we can do it tomorrow. I
I
got
don't know, to spend like hours on it, maybe just.
You want to share that beer? Sure. You empty?
I'm so confused why that fucking thing shut off, dude.
Fuck it.